data transformation in Power Query, and we are on merge. Merge is one of the data transformation processes in Power Query. So we've talked about four of the, specifically we are talking about join kinds in merge. We said there are 6 different kinds of joins in merge. We have the left outer, right outer, full outer, the inner, left anti, and the right anti. So let me just show us the pictorial representation of those things I just mentioned. So this is the, these two diagrams, this one on the left and this on the right, represents two different types of table or data sets. And this one represents the left outer kind of join. The one next to it represents the right outer. This one represents the full outer. This represents the inner kind of join. This left outer, because it's coming from the left table, you can see this. And this one represents the right outer, because this is coming from the right hand table. So then also we can use Venn diagram to still explain the same concept. This is left outer. That means bring everything from the left table and only the matching features from the right table. The right outer means bring everything from the right table, combining with or merging with the matching features from the left table. Full outer means bring everything from both the right and the left table, both matching and unmatching features. Inner means bring only the matching features from both tables. So left anti means bring the unmatching features from the left table, table A, while the last but not the least means that's right anti means bring in just the unmatching features rather from the right hand table. So with that said, let's go back to our data set. Okay, let me go to Power Query first. So in Power Query, we've done left outer, right outer, inner join, full outer. So we can safely move on to right, to one of the antis. So let me start with right anti. Right anti means, going back here, right anti means bring the unmatching features from the right hand table. That means what we have on the right hand table, but that is not on the left hand table. Using this to hold on please, trying to explain it with this as well. So using this picture to explain it again, this is right anti. That means bring the unmatching features, from the right hand table. And don't forget, we said that when we talk of matching and unmatching features, we are referring to the columns here, because the matching columns, the column with which we are using to match both tables. And we've been using the city columns in our example to match the two tables. So let's go back and see the table we've been using for our practice. And this is the table. We have this as our left hand side, the left hand table, and this is our right hand table. And let me remove this highlights. Okay, we have no fill here. Okay, something just came to mind now. I think I can just, maybe it might help our understanding, Let me rearrange this data set, this table, these two tables, just in exact similar manner, like the way this is arranged. You can see that from the table, this is the left and this is the right. The matching features come first, then the unmatching features follow next, So we have the matching features first before the unfollow. Maybe let me just rearrange it, probably to help us visualize what we are talking about better. So the matching, this from table A, from the left hand table, Dallas here, we are speaking of column now. If you've not forgotten, we said instead of matching and unmatching features, we are talking about the column with which we are matching both tables with. So we are using the city column in this case. So let me start from let me try and separate, or let me put the unmatching features towards the end of the table. So that means let me remove everything. Dallas, we have Dallas here. We have Dallas here, but we don't have Dallas here. That means Dallas is not present. City of Dallas is not present in both tables. So let me just try and see if I can copy that, the two rows rather. Then let me copy it and put it towards the end. And let's see how that helps us. Fine. So we have Dallas here. So we have Dallas, and so that means I've ended. So that means I've ended both. Okay. Oh, did it? Okay. Oh, I should have done a cut. Okay. Since I copied, I should have done cut. Let me just delete it. Let me just remove it from here. Okay, fine. So you see what we have. So that means from here to here, that means everything we have here, all these are the matching columns here. Everything we have here, all the columns we have here on the left-hand table, we also have them here on the right-hand table. So Texas is here on the right-hand table, but it's not on the left-hand table, just like we have it here. So this looks like our Texas now, and this looks like our Dallas. Just trying to compare, apple for apple now. So let me just let me just make them bold, let me bold in them. These are the unmatching features. From here, that's Texas from the right, and from the left, Dallas. So I hope this helps us visualize it better, So moving to inner join now. Inner join means bringing, not inner join, sorry, right anti. Right anti means bringing everything here, the unmatching features here, and also I think I just prefer to explain it using this. I think this one, to me, this one explains it better. I mean, this other picture, I mean, this is the one on the right. Just bring in this. What we have here, that is not here, this is right anti. Just bring in this alone. So going back to that table. So if you remember, this we are comparing the two columns now, the city columns in both tables. So this Texas is what we have here. Sorry. Let me be sure I've not. Okay. Are we using, just hold on. I think we have been talking now. Is it Houston? I think I have, if I've not deleted the state. Houston should be the one that is here, that is not here. Not even San Antonio. I think while copying and pasting, I might have inadvertently removed, what's it called, Houston. Let me just undo what I did. Let me go back and undo it. One more time. Houston used to be here. So let me just bring this down. Sorry, I don't know. I wanted to just, okay, let me do this. I knew something was wrong. Insert. Okay. I want to bring in Dallas. These two rows. Cut. Let me just cut it now. Cut. And let me paste it here. Paste better now. So we have our Houston here. So let me make this bold. So this is Houston that we have here on the left hand that we don't have on the right hand. And this is Dallas rather, that we have on the left hand, but not on the right hand. And this is Houston that we have on the right hand, but not on the left hand. So quickly, so what we want to bring in here is just Houston now. That means we are only bringing in Houston. And if you follow what we've been doing since, That means when we do a merge, when we do a right anti-merge, it's only going to bring in Houston. And not just Houston, it's going to bring in the information that has to do with the city of Houston. So don't forget, we are not bringing in the city of Houston from the cities table. We are only bringing in the state and the region. So that means this is all we intend to see at the end of our merge using right anti. This is all we should see. So let's quickly move to Power Query and implement that. So don't forget our starting table is the transactions table. So with that selected as our baseline, so we just go ahead, let's just do a merge. Let's do a merge as new, merge queries as new, okay. So what we will see first is the transactions table. That is the table we are starting from. Then which table we want to merge? We want to merge the cities table. So we select the cities table here. Then we need to select the matching columns. That is city here and city here. So what kind of join? Don't forget we said we are using right anti. It means rows only in the second. Rows only in second. That means rows that are only in the second table. That means in the second table in this case is our right-hand table. That means rows that are only existing in the right-hand table but are not in the left-hand table. That's what that simply means. So we just select that kind of join and let's do OK. And remember now we can expand this. Remember we don't want to bring in, we're not bringing in the cities from the right-hand side. So let's just unselect that. And we don't want to use original column name as prefix. I hope we still remember we still remember and understand why I'm unchecking or I'm unticking this box. So with OK selected, this is all we have. Exactly what we expected, just Texas and Central and with the null values from the right-hand side. And that's exactly what we highlighted here. So that's what we're expecting. So with that, that concludes our what's it called? Right outer. Rename right outer. So moving to right anti. I meant to write right anti.
Hello, sir.
Okay, please go ahead.
Please, why did you uncheck that last before you said okay now?
Okay, let me go back to it. I can't wait. By just clicking this, it will just take you to the what's it called settings. I mean the last settings you did. So you can come here and amend whatever you did. By just you can double click on this step, or you click on here. So that's the way to go back. And the reason why now, if I left it now, let me leave it ticked. Let me leave it checked, and let's see what the difference is. So I've left it checked now. You can see it's brought in city. Now in this column, we now have two city columns. This is one city and this is another city. So there's no point duplicating column names, as in using duplicating columns. Let me just put it that way. You understand? There's no, and again, one reason again is that we are really interested in populating, what's it called? This transactions table. Let me use this data on the right hand side. This data, what we want to do, like I said, like I've been saying, we just want to bring in the state and region. That's what we want to do. So that means what is really important to us is the list of cities on this right hand table, not really the list of cities on this left hand table. I keep mixing right and left up. The city on this left hand table is what is more important to us. So that's why what we are bringing in, what we are bringing where we are checking and unchecking some columns, is from this is the columns on this right hand side. And since we just need the state and the region from the right hand side, we don't need the list of cities here. So we just need to select what we need from this column, since it's just state and region. And
Okay.
another reason is that we already have the city columns there. So why bring in city column again into the
Okay.
table? So I think those are the two reasons, primary reasons why we just select just the state and the region columns that we need to bring in.
Okay. And there's another one on at the bottom where it says something about prefix.
Yeah,
As it
here.
you uncheck two things. You
Okay, let me.
uncheck the city, and at the bottom before you clicked OK, you
Okay,
unchecked on
okay.
it.
Yes, yes. Okay. I really wouldn't be able to go back to that step here.
Mm.
But when I'm doing right, left hand side, I will explain that part.
Okay, sir.
So because it will still come up in that process too. So I
Okay,
will
sir.
explain while I uncheck that box.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So that explains right hand side. So let's quickly move on to left hand side. If no one has any questions about right hand side. Just a minute, please. Okay. So right hand side, and that's the last kind of join. So that simply means left hand side. That's the last kind of join. Means bringing the unmatching features from the left. That's all. That means what we have on the left hand side that we don't have on the right. That means the rows we have on the left that we don't have on the right. So that is it. That's what that really means. The rows on the left, but not on the right. So let's look at our data sets. So if I have to remove this highlight, okay, removing this highlights. I don't know. Maybe let me just, since it's the last kind of join, maybe just as a way to see if really we are following along. So can someone please tell me what we expect to see with left hand side? Can someone please, if for people that can talk, people that cannot unmute and talk, what do we expect to see? You don't have to get it. If you get it wrong, no problems. That means you still have one or two things to understand. So, but at least I just want to see someone try. So, what do we expect to see
We
with
expect to see the dollars, $2.
the $2? That's right. Absolutely right. We're expecting to see the information for the $2. That means this. So that means we will see everything about from here to here. Don't forget, I'm not bringing the cities column from the right. So this is exactly what we expect to see. So let's go and do our join now. Starting from transactions, I hope you all know the reason why we're starting from transactions, every time for this exercise. So from starting from transactions, we go to our merge query. So I'm merging as new. This selected, then we are merging with cities. What kind of join we are using? Left hand side, rows only in the first. And this is rows only. It's if you have to understand what they mean by that. What's it called? By that phrase, that rows only in the first. That means rows that are in the first, in the left. Our first column here is transaction column. That's the first, this is the second. That's the way it sees it. This is the first, this is the second. And this is our own left, and this is our own right. So that means rows existing only in the left table. That's our first table. That is left hand side. So we select that join kind. Then don't forget we have to select the matching columns. That's very important. City column. And with the left hand side join selected, you just do okay. Now, this information here, you can see table and table here. For the benefit of those that were not here when I explained this, I explained when we were doing left outer. You can see there's table and table here. This is the cities column. This is the cities, so this is cities table. You can see the sign. This is the sign of table. You can see this icon here, represent table. Saying that everything we have here is civils table collapsed, or I don't use the word merge now. Fused, all the information fused together. Now, if you want to see the content, you can see everything is fused into one here as a table. If you want to see what is in that table, just click on an empty space here, not on the table, an empty space in this cell. When you click on it, it will tell you what is here. That means it has null. That means there are 3 columns, 1, 2, 3, all together here. But Power Query can put 3 columns in a cell. You can kind of have a preview. It's like a preview of what is here. We can preview what this table is. It is null, null, and null. You can as well preview what this is. It's also null, null, and null. So that is, he said that, so we have 3 columns all fused together here. So we have the city, the state, and the region. And where are these 3 columns from? They are from here. These are the 3 columns here. City, state, and region from the city's transaction table. So those are the 3. So this is the null, none, and null that we are seeing. Let's look at it again. You can see for the first one, for the first Dallas, you can see null, null, and null. This is where the null, none, and null. This is where they are coming from, the 3 nulls. And the other nulls, the 3, we can see here, they are represented here as well. Let me come here. So you can see that everything is here, fused together. So now we need to now filter it. We need just the state and the region. That's what we want to bring out, the state and the region from these 3 columns. So that's all we want to do. So how do we do that? We click on this sign here. You can see this is the city, state, and the region. Those 3 columns I just showed you earlier on. So these are the city and region, and this was like the question you asked earlier. This was selected for me. Luckily, it wasn't selected now, but I'm going to check it now. This was the boss we were referring to. Now, if I leave this checked, he's saying that the name here, use original column name as preface. That means what we are going to now, what we want here is the name of the columns, just city, state, or region. That means if we leave these 3 boxes checked, but remember we don't need the name of the city again, like I said earlier on. So we just untick this box. That means it's only going to bring in the state and the region columns. Now, what will be the name? It will be what? Now, this is about what is going to name the columns. The name is going to give it. Now, if I leave this box ticked, it's going to give it the original column name as preface. The original column name is what? Is state, right? So it's going to give it state.cities and region.cities. That's what it's going to give it. Now, let's try and see what I'm talking about. So you can see, let's see the name it's going to give it. Oh, I think I mentioned the other way around. It should be cities.state. So it gave it cities.state and cities.region. That means the column name dot the name that was here before. Now I want to go back a step. If you remember, it showed cities here as the column name before. Cities, if you remember, just one column, cities. And we brought in state and region. So it's going to give it the cities, the name that was there before, dot the name of the column itself, the original name of the column, which is state. But we don't want it to name it in that manner. So we only want it to name it as state and region. So that's the reason why we have to untick that box, to have that happen. So if I want to do that again, there's no way I can do that again from here. So default column name preface. Okay, let me see. Can it be done default column? I don't think I can do it from here. I don't think so. Okay, let me remove it. Let me try and remove this. Maybe this, if I remove this. Oh, fine. I think instead of, if in case you forgot to untick that box, what you can do is you just come here. That city's name will be here. Just delete it. Deleting it, that's one way of correcting the wrong, you did, as in not the wrong as in wrong, or the step what you should have done that you did not do. So I think that's one way of correcting it. Just come here and delete that cities, So it's a way of unticking the box, So click OK, the name is now state and region. So that's exactly what we want. We just want it to name it state and region, the exact column names, the original column names.
Yes.
So,
Thank
and
you,
that's
sir. I
exactly
get it.
okay. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir. It is.
Okay, fine.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
like you said, this is what we expected, and that's exactly what we got. No, not this. I want to highlight. So this is what we got. Like you rightly said, So, and that is what left anti means. Left anti. So, and that concludes our what's it called? Our class on joint kinds. So I hope me moving the unmatching columns, towards the end of the data, I hope that makes a difference and that helps our understanding. So with that conclude, I don't know if there are questions on the joint kinds, from left